So in this weekend's update, I'm going to concentrate on violating democratic norms, in particular clamping down on criticism, spreading misinformation and sidelining the democratic process. At the end of last week, senior Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer criticised the outcome of Donald Trump's trip to Asia. The president then immediately retaliated and suggested that criticism of him is almost treasonous. Then yesterday, President Trump watched the Seth Meyers show on NBC, which resulted in a rant on social media, where he called Myers a deranged lunatic, 100% anti-Trump, and then said that being anti-Trump is probably illegal. Moving on to kind of misinformation, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said in a press conference that no American citizens have been arrested or detained by immigration agents. Now, this is false. There have been many verified instances of American citizens being both arrested and detained. And then we had a new White House rule issued on Friday, which basically restricts the ability of credentialed journalists to freely access the offices of the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt. Now, what this means is that effectively the administration is clamping down on press freedom, and the White House Correspondents Association said that the new restrictions would hinder reporters' ability to question officials, ensure transparency, and hold the government accountable. And then in North Carolina, a Republican spokesperson urged a reporter from ProPublica to drop a news story about a prominent conservative state Supreme Court judge, and he issued a kind of a veiled threat. He said, "I'm sure you're aware of our connections with the Trump administration, and I'm sure they would be interested in this matter." He later then posted on social media that Trump should feed ProPublica to the USAID wood chipper. ProPublica did go ahead with its news story. And then just to kind of end on violating democratic norms more broadly, Republican chairman and the senior Democrat on the Armed Services Committee said that the Pentagon had still not handed over information about the ongoing boat attacks in the Pacific and Caribbean, despite repeated requests. And then we also had Democratic lawmakers excluded from a briefing about those strikes in South America. And then finally, Trump is now trying to sideline Democrats completely from the democratic process. So basically, this is about the filibuster. The filibuster is a Senate rule which means that you need 60 out of 100 members to pass important legislation. And the idea is that such legislation should have at least some bipartisan support. But last week, Trump now has called for that rule to be scrapped so that the Republican majority in the Senate can bypass Democrats completely and reopen the government without compromise. So for all these actions and many more, please visit trumpactiontracker.info.